Welcome back to the Take Control of Your Life podcast. This week, we're going to talk about time management and how to prioritize your life. Now, this is an important one. We went over goal setting a couple weeks ago, but actually prioritizing your time is really important. So you have 24 hours a day. Ideally, you're sleeping for 8 of them. So you have 16 hours to accomplish something. And most of us have jobs, so we're working 40 hours a week, 40, 50 hours a week. So how do we prioritize our free time? Well, I'm going to break it down for you on how Sierra and I do it. The first step, and I'm going to give you a quote from Jocko. I was a big Jocko fan when I was trying to get my shit together. He has a saying, discipline equals freedom. And what that means is when you set a job for yourself, you set a task, you cannot stray from that task. You can't just say, okay, I'll do it tomorrow, or I'll do it next week, because then it puts everything else off track. So by staying disciplined and doing what you set out to do, the other parts of your life will be free. And my example is I woke up at 2 a.m. a couple weeks ago to do that marathon row because there was a job that needed to be done for a 5-year-old boy, and I was not going to miss that. So when you have a task, stay disciplined, and the rest of your life will be easier. So discipline equals freedom is that quote. Now, how do you actually time manage? Well, most people that I have interacted with just, they operate on a day-to-day life. And what I mean by that is they wake up, they know they're going to go to work, but they don't know what they're going to have for dinner. They don't know if they're going to see their family later. They don't know if they're going to go to a party. Like, they do not have their life set out. So what I like to do is I put everything on my calendar, and I have very high goals and expectations for CrossFit Control. I'm trying to impact the obesity rating on a state level. In order to do that, I have to stay hyper focused on this place. And so Sierra and I actually, we map out our date nights. We put it on our calendar. We map out events that we're going to have months in advance. And I realize that is a little extreme for most, but it allows us to stay focused on what we're trying to accomplish. And so that's one piece that is really important, is putting things on your calendar and treating them like doctor's appointments. You're not going to skip your doctor's appointments, so don't skip those things on your calendar, whether it's your workouts, whether it's family time, whether it's an event. Don't skip them because they are important. The other thing I will say is you need to know what your priorities are. And so in life, you have health, wealth, love, and happiness. And you can filter pretty much anything into those categories, and you need to make sure you know your priorities. So for me, number one has always been health. And I believe that having health as a number one priority will filter into the other pieces of my life, and it will make my life easier. I will say up until these twins came along, health was always my number one priority, but I would say family time is probably number one at this point. However, I still make sure I focus on my health every day. So you need to know what your priorities are, what you were trying to accomplish. You need to put those, you need to actually have a list of priorities. So that way, when something else comes up, so let's say you had it scheduled to go to the 9 a.m. class. I'm getting ready to coach the 9 a.m. class. And your friend calls you and says, hey, it's Friday. How about we go get margaritas? Where does alcohol fall on your list of priorities? And if you do not have it already above exercise and fitness, then you need to tell them no. You need to keep your priorities in line. You need to stay on track for your goals that you've set for yourself. And you need to make sure you're moving forward. So when it comes to time management, know your priorities, put your things on the calendar, plan ahead, write it down, and stick to the plan. Hopefully this helps you guys. I know that some people have been struggling with time management getting here, especially when you have that half-hour drive, but follow these rules and you will succeed.